All we've ever had this data for is advertising side. We always had how many impressions we got on the ad side, how many clicks we had, how many sales we had on a specific keyword. But we never had it on the organic side. The whole point of Amazon advertising is to take advantage of the market that's there rather than like Facebook, for example. That traffic, you're just driving new customers all the time. You're not taking advantage of some organic traffic that exists. We've never had this insight. You could look things up yourself and say, well, it looks like we're ranking higher for pink running shoe. I bet some of our organic sales are coming from that, but you never really knew. Finally, for the first time, we can at least know a little bit.
D2C marketers, let's get real. How many hours have you wasted searching for brand influencers only to come up empty-handed? It's time to stop spending time searching, scrolling, and haggling with influencers and start using creator marketing with #paid. With #paid, you can find your perfect creator match for your brand in less than 10 minutes every time. Getting started is easy. Just select your audience, campaign objectives, pick from a short list of creators, and hit run. It's just that easy. There's a reason why #paid is the #1 rated influencer marketing platform for D2C brands. As a D2C listener, you can even get credits for your first campaign. Just go to go.paid.com/DTCpod to get started. Hello and welcome to All Killer No Filler. I am Eric here with Rob and Clifford from the Pilot House Amazon team. And today let's just start by singing the praises of Amazon ads. Their Q2 results just came out and they have grown their revenue by 18%, which, while faster than, which is faster than the growth experienced by Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, any of these platforms. So good job, Jeff Bezos, with your advertising platform. What did you guys think about those advertising results?
Always exciting to see the growth, especially on a platform. I mean, we see the value in it all the time, so exciting to see it go up. I should have bought some Amazon stock, but I didn't, which even despite Clifford telling me to a little while ago.
Oh, that's actually a really interesting point. I've worked in this space for so long, and I should have taken it out this year or last year, but I should have invested a lot, like every year, in Facebook and all these different platforms that I've been working on for decades. Because it's like we know, we got the inside track that these things are working. Would have had to pull it out before a couple of months ago to really make a lot of money with Facebook. But yeah, Amazon seems like a no-brainer. And just to see that their advertising platform is developing as fast as it is, it's and that brings us to the next thing. Let's talk about this monumental sort of change or evolution that we're starting to see with Amazon ads. Clifford, what is it?
So finally, for the first time that we've ever seen, it's been a feature that has been limited to a few brands, and they're starting to roll it out to a few more. We're starting to see it on a lot more of our accounts, but it's a search query performance dashboard. So for anyone who's inside Amazon Seller Central, under the brands feature, under brand analytics, there is a little thing at the top that says there's new search analytics dashboards. So you click through 3 different screens and you can get to this search query performance dashboard, which provides you for the first time ever with actual data on how many queries are being performed on different search terms, how many impressions of those queries your brand got, how many clicks your brand got of those compared to the rest of the website, how many add to carts, how many purchases, like your share of that keyword on the website compared to everyone else.
Very cool. Give me an example of how exactly you dig into this data in order to either increase the efficiency or scale of your spend.
Yeah, there's the one way that we've started, so it's very new, so I don't want to say that we've figured out any secret yet of how exactly to use it, but one initial way that we've found is that we can get into the pulling how much of market share we think we can get to on certain keywords. So to put more concreteness to that example, back to our classic running shoe example, if you're selling that new pink trail running shoe, this dashboard, you do have to be like selling it for a bit for these to populate, because it only gives you your top 1,000 search terms. But if you pull out all the different running shoe related search queries out of there, you can and you figure out how much of that share you currently have, and then look at something that maybe you have a lot more of. So maybe you own pink trail running shoes, and that search query you have like 40% of the purchases, then you can somewhat assume you might be able to get up to 40% of the purchases of women's trail running shoe. And so now you can see, okay, well, that has this many purchases. If we can own that same amount as we own of this other one, then this is the return from that. And it helps you inform how much you should spend on that on the ad side of things.
And I guess it also, if it's giving you data all the way down to your share of clicks and adds to cart, you can also just see get a better sense of your effectiveness on given keywords. So if you've got maybe a higher rate of adds to carts or clicks on a particular key term, then maybe you can get more aggressive with that because you know it's going to convert better. Does that check out?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And a really good way to start determining like even ROI of investing into a newer product, like Clifford's saying, it's like basically defining like what's the goal, what's the carrot at the end of the road, so you can know like, is it worth investing into and leaning more into, or is it maybe the upside's just not that great and you're like, maybe I'll pick a different product to really lean into. To start having those conversations is a fun thing to use it for.
And it probably allows you to optimize your campaigns a little bit towards, just towards ones that you're going to have a bigger share on, and just get that visibility. Like I'm sure as we get more familiar with the tool, there'll be other dimensions of kind of what we can pull out as you get more comfortable with it. And hopefully it's a commitment on Amazon's side to be building out more of these ad intelligent tools, because I was reading on the articles about their growth versus Meta and Snapchat and TikTok. Like it's their sandbox. They don't have any of the privacy issues that we experience on all of these other platforms. So it's exciting to see them develop it.
Mm-hmm. What we haven't done yet, which would be curious to do, is look at the relative rates of across different keywords we own, from clicks to carts to purchases, to see if that's consistent across product or across search terms and products, or if you start spotting things like, hey, one product has a whole bunch of clicks, but then there's a steep drop off on listing page, and then maybe there's an issue there, or a steep drop off to purchase. So, we don't have control over the cart on Amazon, but it'd be interesting to see and start discerning like what's the actual buyer process and buyer mentality. Does someone add to cart and then like just not purchase? And that's quite common across maybe a certain product catalog, but not in another industry. And we might just start learning more about our buyers and our customers.
And when I was speaking about optimization, it's that ability to basically know, what other, back to the running shoe example, that pink women's, running shoe, this just gives you, that many more dimensions to know how you can attack it, essentially, how you can go after it, which should allow you guys more levers to get more aggressive in all the right places. So looking for big things from the Amazon team.
Showing improvements too. Like if you're an internal Amazon, like working at a company and your job to scale Amazon ads, you can like now point to these metrics and say like, hey, we're gaining market share.
And if you want to gain market share in a particular area, it gives you that data so that you can alter your listing to feature more pink women's running shoes or whatever, and then really see the impact that has on that keyword as you try to progress towards that 40% market share that maybe you own on that other keyword.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point there, because all we've ever had this data for is advertising side. Like you could always see how your ads are doing. You couldn't get add to carts for whatever reason. I don't know why that was always hidden, but we always had how many impressions we got on the ad side, how many clicks we had, how many sales we had on a specific keyword. But we never had it on the organic side. That's why it's such a big deal for the platform, is that like the whole point of like Amazon advertising is to take advantage of the market that's there, rather than every other type of advertising with like Facebook, for example, or Meta, for example, sorry. like that traffic, you're just driving new customers all the time. You're not taking advantage of some organic traffic that exists like you are with Amazon, or like you would be with like, Google type of content marketing. And we've never had this insight into the organic side of Amazon. You never knew, like you always had a hunch. You could look things up yourself and say, well, it looks like we're ranking higher for pink running shoe. I bet some of our organic sales are coming from that. But you never really knew. Finally,
Until now.
for the first time, we can at least know a little bit.
A little transparency in the black box. That is great to hear. It's just, while we're on this, and we know Jeff listens to the podcast, are there any other like on the wish list for you guys on the tools? Give me like one or two things that would be on the wish list that they, like in this same vein of analytics and reporting, that they should be thinking about dropping in the next few quarters.
I mean, the number one is that, what is it called? The Google Keyword Planner, I believe. Just give us an Amazon Keyword Planner where we can look up a keyword and look up the volume of it. It's insane that this doesn't exist. Like, that should just exist.
That was like Google's first move in a way. I remember like that's what like tuned in every marketer into the world, into the potential of Google Ads, was that index essentially. So that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, so there's that, and that currently is just filled by third-party tools that you have to pay for basically to compete. And now we're learning that the accuracy of which, when comparing to this new organic data or the first-party data from Amazon, it's like they're kind of accurate, but they definitely weren't 100% on these search volumes that we had in the third-party tools. So, like, just giving us that transparency and being able to figure out that volume. And also, one of the biggest pet peeves ever of Amazon's ad console is you can add all these different columns of impressions and clicks and conversions or orders and sales, but they don't just let you pick conversion rate as a column. It's the most infuriating thing. You have to calculate it manually, or you have to export it and put it in Excel and calculate it. I don't get it. It's like a simple calculation. They give you cost per click, they give you click-through rate, but they can't just let you add conversion rate into the ad console. It's the most annoying thing. It's a very small thing, but it's so annoying.
Jeff, if you're listening, just add that conversion rate call. I remember I forget what platform it was, but I remember having to just copy and paste like reams of data into a spreadsheet so that I could just plop in a conversion rate thing. And there's nothing more frustrating than that. So Jeff, come on, bud. Like, I think I'm really excited to talk about this Amazon ads evolution. I also noticed the other day that they purchased Roomba, which I have a Roomba in my house. It just sits there, actually. So luckily, it's not mapping out my floor tiles. But if you think about it, then they're going to have Amazon Echo. I think it's like in 30% of homes or something, where they hear all of our conversations. And now they'll have all of the floor plans of our homes all mapped out with our Roombas. It's quite a business this here, Mr. Bezos is building.
You're gonna get customized suggestions, like when you like search for like car parts or something, and you put in like your make and model, it'll be like this, like guaranteed to fit your vehicle. You're gonna get house recommendations. It's like this couch will fit in your living room. This rug will fit in your master bedroom, because they'll know all your floor plans.
Oh my! Amazon could start serving ads to you that are just pictures of your living space with new things in them, like. You guys are too young to remember this, but it was like the Showcase Showdown in Price is Right, where you used to be able to like select things from the. Oh my God, this is all happening. The future is now, and soon it will all be on the metaverse, and Jeff will have it.
Interesting on the Amazon advertising growth front. I think something that's not very talked about, that's like actually really interesting, and I continue to preach to our whole team and. Preach the Amazon gospel about how it's going to be the ultimate ad platform, is Amazon roughly October of last year came out with like first party Amazon TVs. They had Amazon Fire TVs, not just a little stick that you put on your TV, but the TV itself, like a Samsung LG competitor. And they've been continuing to run more and more sales on those and come out with different versions and larger ones and smaller ones and different technology. And I think they are going to take over Roku's spot as that like main smart TV platform. And that means that they now will have a huge amount of like the viewable audience with their TVs that they can now serve ads on that give you direct attribution back to you if someone's bought something. So you can now serve a commercial to someone on Thursday Night Football, which Amazon owns, or owns rights to. So you can serve a ad on Thursday Night Football to someone on their that they're watching streaming on their Prime Video Fire TV, and if they buy something on Amazon or they go buy it in Whole Foods, which you can also get attribution through, you can now see that purchase and actually get a ROAS on like your streaming TV advertising, which is like crazy. Like you've never been able to get that type of metric on. You would just get impressions and hope it worked.
Oh my god! And thinking about their other plays, I'm sure they've got forward facing cameras, so it's not just one way data anymore. If in their devices, they're probably scanning the room while you're scanning their TVs. When are we just going to get Amazon houses, like Amazon 3D printed houses? The fridges just fill up. Our furniture populates with the new styles. The future is now,
Eric,
boys.
they already sell tiny homes on Amazon.
That's right. Oh my god! Well. Guys, thanks for coming on, catching me up on Amazon ad landscape. I look forward to checking back in as you guys kind of evolve your strategies about how to make the most of these tools. It brings me back to my Google AdWords days, where anytime new features are rolled out or new dimensions of data are rolled out, that it takes people that are on the edge of performance marketing, using these things all the time. It's always interesting to see the way we figure out how to use this data, whether it's pulling it out into spreadsheets, building it into our own systems. There's always some interesting ways that we're able to use this data to make it work for us. I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with.
Thank you. It should be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you're not getting the D2C newsletter, you can subscribe for free at directtoconsumer.co. And if you want to learn more about Pilot House's all-killer, no-filler services, take off to pilothouse.co. I'm Eric Dick, and this has been the D2C Podcast. We'll see you next time.